Hey guys, it's Ray Davis with Bridge to the Future, the show where we look at the human past, the human present, and the human future, looking for better ways forward for humanity. So you've probably said it yourself, and you've probably heard other people say it as well. I sure am ready to get back to normal. And I think I know what most of us mean. We mean we're ready to be able to do what we want to do when we want to do it. We mean that we want to see our families more often. We mean that we want baseball season to start. And I get all of those things. But in this moment, when we have a chance to take a breath and look around at what normal is, normal could really stand a little more scrutiny. Think about it. While you've been working at home, or maybe you've been asked to stay at home, you've got to spend more time with your family than you normally would. A lot of those hours are typically spent at the office, at a desk, in a cube, at the factory. So that's a real positive for what's been going on for the last few weeks. And given our technology today, why do we have to live in a world that's butts in seats? That is so 1970s. I mean, there are many, many jobs that people go into the office for every single day that this crisis is showing us can be worked from home. Companies are going to have to rethink whether or not they want to pay for offices where they have hundreds or thousands of people sitting in cubes when people could have a better quality of life, and the company would probably get a better result by letting people blend their work with their life from home and giving people more time with their families, more time for the things that they love to do, but still plenty of time for work. I think telemedicine is another area that we're going to see really blossom from this. Whatever type of healthcare system we decide on going forward, there's no doubt that telemedicine can save us a lot of money, save people a lot of hassle, get them seen by a doctor in a situation where often they wouldn't be able to do that. So telemedicine is another area I think we're going to see after this crisis that people are really going to reevaluate and think about how can they work that into our healthcare system. It's a huge time saver, it's a huge money saver, and honestly, it opens up healthcare to people who've never had it before. School is another area that's being pushed by the crisis. We're learning now that many things that we thought had to be taught face-to-face can be taught at a distance. Now, teachers are still honing their skills around that, but given the right training and enough time, many teachers could come up with a very creative curriculum for students. And although this is probably not something that would work long-term at the elementary level or perhaps even the middle school or junior high level, it certainly is something that should be looked at for high school. High school in the 21st century should not be high school of the 1880s. High school today probably should be more of a mix of life, school, and work. That would give high school students the chance to get out into the world, understand how it works a little bit, and participate. And also use their creativity and the technology that we have developed to further their education. Colleges also are looking at this crisis as a way to gauge whether or not they're doing things the right way. Many brick and mortar colleges that have been reluctant to jump with both feet into online learning are going to have to rethink that strategy going forward. And then there's our election system. Here we are, the world's oldest democracy, and we're supposed to be committed to one person, one vote, and yet our electoral system is not set up in a way that supports that at all. It's run by two parties that really look after their self-interest more than they do your vote, and it's time for that to change. In this moment when we have a chance to look around and see what's really going on in the world, and in an election year, we can't miss that our election system lacks transparency, it lacks integrity, and it works harder to keep people out of the process than it does to work them into it. And that's just not acceptable in 2020. We need to do better than that. I think we need to take the political process out of the hands of the two parties and put it in the hands of a nonpartisan electoral commission that would not only ensure that voters get to vote, that their vote is counted, and that it's counted honestly, but it would also encourage third parties and other parties to participate in the process fairly and equally with the two main parties. In the 21st century, we cannot afford to have a monopolization of ideas in our political system. We need to have all hands on deck to think about how we move our country and humanity forward. And the electoral system that we have right now simply doesn't live up to that billing. We can do better, and we must do better. Finally, However long this crisis goes on, whether it be a few more weeks, a few more months, or off and on for the next few years, there's no doubt that we're going to see huge technological advances. It's a sad truth that war often breeds new technological advances. It turns out that necessity really is the mother of invention. And we're already seeing in the first few weeks of the coronavirus crisis new technologies that are emerging and technologies that are morphing to fit the moment. Areas like 3D printing are going to see huge jumps out of necessity during this process. And that will be a good thing for the world. We'll be talking about 3D printing more in an upcoming episode when I talk about Star Trek replicator technology and where we are with that and what that could mean for our world going forward. The bottom line is that a new normal wouldn't be all bad. There were a lot of things about the current normal that just weren't right. And this is a moment, if ever there was a moment, to make the changes that we need to make. And we've seen that some of the myths that we lived by, that my butt has to be in a seat at work, that I have to see a doctor face to face, that I can only get educated in a classroom, just aren't true anymore in our world today. What other innovations will come out of this crisis? We don't even know yet. Now, there's certainly a lot of negatives. There are people dying, and we send our heartfelt condolences out to everyone who has lost someone or who is battling this disease right now. But we can't miss the opportunities for our society moving forward that this moment provides. We may never get an opportunity to look around in this way again. So let's not miss that opportunity. Why should we go back to the old normal? A new normal might be good. A new normal might be more enlightened. A new normal might, just might, bring about a better country and a better humanity on this planet. This is Ray Davis with Bridge to the Future. Thank you for watching. If you're enjoying these shows, please subscribe and like below. I'd love to hear from you on your comments about this, and I will talk to you again soon.